the show is FYI for the DIY. Well, this time, this isn't really a DIY project. So the FYI of this project is called the Garage Door Guy. Tom, good to see you again.
So you called me again, huh?
I did.
So what's the problem?
Well, the homeowner sent me an email and said, I just moved into this house. I just had a new garage door opener put in, but now my garage door won't work. She came out, she took a look, and sure enough, the springs across the top that we talked about the last time, one of them snapped.
Okie doke.
So,
So,
can you take care of it?
I sure can.
Good, let's go take a look.
Okay.
So Tom, at the last garage door we were at, you were telling us that when the spring breaks, you can still open the door, but you have to actually be the spring.
You have to become the other spring.
Right. So if I was to push that button to get the garage door open, you would actually.
You can't do that either, because that means you're touching the button and then you're running all the way over here, and it just doesn't work. By the time you get here, that door is stopped.
Right.
So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your remote,
okay,
and then you hit the button with your remote button, and then you go ahead and you come down the spring and help the door up.
Now, what if I was to release the safety latch?
It'll fall. It'll fall like dead.
So by using the remote, then because of the weight of this door, it's going to want to drop again. The remote will help it because the safety latch is on. It'll keep it from just dropping real fast on me.
Well, you see, you got two springs up there. One of them is broken, so you got half the power. So then your opener, you hit the button on the opener starts opening it, and then you become the rest of the other spring. So it's a combination of you two plus the other spring lifting that door. Okay. And that's mainly emergency, just to get out in case you have to get to work and stuff.
Right. But again, my first inclination, or most people's first inclination, is going to be to pull this, release that, and then to try to open the door that way.
That's when you go
to do that because the spring is broken. It's going to be a lot heavier than normal, and if you're starting to get the door lifted and you lose your grip, it's going to drop quickly.
Well, the problem is you're not going to be able to do it. Period.
There you go. Okay.
Because one guy is not going to be able to do it. You're going to have to go get your neighbors to help you up with the door. Okay. Okay. So your opener is a substitute. Okay. For the spring, and you're becoming a substitute also. So it's all a combination of it. You're just overcoming the problem. Okay. And that's mainly emergency only. Okay. I don't advise that other than that.
Okay. So what are we going to do now?
Okay. You got one broken spring. Okay. Now, you got one broken spring. They're both on the same life cycle. So within 6 months or so, the other spring is going to break. Right. So I always recommend you change out both at the same time, because I'll be back here in 6 months charging you again. Double. And you're going through the process of not being able to get to work and yada yada yada. Right. So I always recommend you change out both springs at the same time. 3-year warranty on the springs. Lubrication is a big deal for your springs.
That's what we talked about last time.
Okay. And I do have the Teflon spray. Right. And I recommend the Teflon spray. Right. Because
dry lubricant.
You'll hear when the door's going down, down the road. You notice that the spring is a little rusty. The door going down the road, you're going to hear a chunk, 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 chunk sound, and it's starting to rust and it's grabbing on itself, and eventually will break it down. Right. You spray it with the Teflon spray about once a year, boom, you're good to go. It's going to last you a little bit longer. Don't know how much, but it's going to be going with no problem. Right. And lubrication keeps me away. Right.
Okay, so once again, this is not a project that a homeowner should take on by themselves. That's what we got you for.
For one thing, garage door springs are the loaded tension. You know, and if you don't know what you're doing, watch out. Right. I've had people call me from the hospital. Right. Asking me if I change out springs.
Well, so let's let you do your thing.
Got to go ahead and release all the tension. tension is gone right now. So all the cables are relaxed. So we can go here. Got to take apart the whole torsion system. Okay, usually have a little burr there and stuff. The white at the end of the spring is telling me what gauge the spring is. Okay, so white means it's a 218 gauge. Need all the help I get sliding these things back and forth. Boom, boom, boom. Now, people think that your garage door opener is what opens your door. Your garage door opener is just a substitute for you. That's it. Your springs are what does 99% of the work. So if your springs aren't right, then it's putting stress on your opener, on your door, on everything. Okay, cool. What you're gonna do? Gonna grab the cable on the left-hand side. Gonna go wrap it around the drum, and then you can tighten the drum down to the torsion bar. Okay. We're gonna pound in the cable, get rid of all the slack that we can, and we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna vice grip the torsion bar to a standing position. Make sure you got the twang on your cable. Make sure you got good tension. Come over to the other side and do the same thing, because the torsion bar is already at a tightened and locked in place. You come and wrap the other cable to it. It becomes one whole unit. Got that twang factor. That's what I call it. Make sure you have the same strength tension on both sides, or else your door is going to go up sideways. Okay, roughly, when you get the right springs for the right door, it's roughly 1 line for every foot in height. All basic doors are roughly 7 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap one at 7.5. I'm going to wrap one at 7.25. That way, the extra 3/4 will keep tension on the door when the door is up, and no slack in the cable. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. Okay. I went ahead and I just elongated the spring. Give it room to relax, because when it's down, your spring is totally wound, major tension on it. So you want it relaxed as much as possible. I've seen to where they don't elongate the spring, and the spring doesn't know where to go when the door is going down. It ends up wrapping up on itself, it ends up blowing itself out in a heartbeat. Elongating is a big deal.
All right, so now springs are replaced. Now
Boom,
you want to test it and make sure that it
okay, so
works.
we're gonna test it manually first. Okay, so I went ahead and wound it. We're gonna disengage the opener.
All right.
Okay, boom. We're gonna do it up manually. Okay, boom. Bring your door up. You always bring your door up halfway. If it stays, you've got the right springs. That means everything's calibrated. It's not hot and it's not heavy.
Right. Okay.
And boom, 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 boom. Then you go ahead and go pick it all the way up. You see how nice and easy it flowed?
Yeah. Very nice.
That means it's the right springs.
All right.
You can always tell if the springs are right by when you do it manually.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Now I feel a little hindrance on here. A little lubrication in these tracks. This thing is going to break free. It's going to flow a lot easier. And you got to remember, lubrication on your tracks, easy flow, less stress on everything.
Right. Right.
Less stress is good.
Well, there we go. New springs. They certainly look a lot cleaner. Now let's see if it works. Tony, go ahead and hit the button. All right, there we go. A DIY, an FYI for the DIY. I always get those mixed up. But once again, this one is really not a DIY project. But that's why we got the garage door guy.
Hey, thanks for calling. You're very welcome.
See you next time.
All right. Bye.